Welcome, everybody. Welcome to day 4 out of Hova Bohu meditation. I'm glad you could join us today. Today's topic is going to be rest and digest, or fight, flight, and freeze. In other words, thrive or strive or thrive. Okay. How to transition from a place of striving to thriving. That's what we are going to discuss today. Meanwhile, I'm going to make Shireen the co-host so that I can focus. Sherin, I made you the co-host. Um, yeah. So yesterday we discussed about default mode network, and I have shared little diagrams with you all. What is a default mode network and how it plays an active role. We are going to again discuss a little bit more about the nervous system. Okay. As a disclaimer, I'm not a neuroscience person, but little bit that I know because my friends are into it and my husband himself has done some certification. So I know a little bit and I'll try to simplify and explain to you guys. Okay. So we are going to discuss rest and digest, or flight, fight, and freeze mode uh, with a lens of sympathetic versus parasympathetic nervous system. Okay, so what is we have many times we have discussed about flight, fright, or freeze. Okay, so these are the response our nervous system shows when sympathetic nervous system is activated, meaning let's say a stray dog is chasing you. Okay, and if you are not a dog person, and it's like really mad, not one, maybe many of them. Like in Bangalore, it's very common. It's many of them are chasing, and sometimes they'll jump and try to push people down. It's to do with some sort of um sickness, I would call it. So what would you do in that situation? You might want to take something that's close by, and if there are so many dogs around, then you might want to rush into some place and shut yourself, right? So when we are in situations like that, sympathetic nervous system, it's also short form is SNS, is activated during perceived danger or stress. Okay, so many times, like if somebody is trying to kidnap, let's say, like I want to share an experience that happened maybe 10-15 years ago. I was in Delhi and I didn't know I wasn't very fluent in Hindi. And so after my I used to attend hardware servicing classes because I have a IT infrastructure background. I started my career as a hardware engineer, meaning I would rip open all the desktops and big servers, and I would repair them. Okay, so that's kind of a hardware servicing classes I was attending, and it was a bit late, and I sat in an order to come back to my hostel, and this auto driver started. Taking me to an unknown place, meaning because there was a diversion to on the way to my class. It used to be like 10 kilometers away from my workplace, and so instead of there was some activity was going on, festival or something, so instead of taking me, he was trying to go around. I thought, okay, maybe it's a longer route he's taking, but then I realized that he's taking me somewhere else. And I know for sure, in my intuitions were correct, and I know for sure that this guy is up to something. And I tried communicating with him in Hindi, but he wouldn't listen. He was driving continuously. So then I started looking around who to call, and I saw a petrol bunk, and there were a couple of guys in a bike. Then immediately I just called them, and made sure that this fellow stops the auto. My sympathetic nervous system was active. For a moment, I froze. I didn't know how to, because it's like, going a place where there was no traffic and all that. I started praying in tongues because I was always a believer, and I started praying in tongues. God sent me some, like angels, and then these bike guys, I called them immediately. They responded. They seemed like decent people. Then I got down immediately and I told them, look, this person, I wanted to go to Connaught Place, but this person's taking me somewhere. Then they shouted at the auto guy like crazy. And one of them got down from the bike, and the rider said, let me take you, ma'am, to your place. And again, I'm thinking, okay, this person's taking me, I don't know, like now I just have to pray and believe and go. I sat behind and they dropped me. I went and told about the whole incident to my sir, and he was so concerned. And after the class, he himself dropped me back in the hostel, advising me a bit of things and all that. So at that point in time, I was ready to fight. Okay, initially I froze, and then panic kicked in. Okay, and then I was ready to fight. I was just like, let me, now I have to, I'm in the auto. If I do something, then the auto also might go here and there. So, but fortunately, there was an open door for me to, be safe. So this is just one incident. Okay, so sometimes you don't know how to react. You are in a situation like there's no help around. Okay, at that point, and I'm sure all of us have gone through some incident or the other. When this kind of situation happens, it increases our heart rate, our blood pressure, our breathing also increases, which in turn releases cortisol and adrenaline. This is called a survival mode. Okay, your body is always trying to protect you from any perceived danger or a very stressful situation, that maybe it's a heavy argument going between the in-laws or between the spouse, and like you know when your cortisol is spiking. Okay, so this is constantly. Sometimes this kind of state is also survival state is active due to unchecked thoughts, worry, or subconscious stress. It okay. So sometimes we might have subconsciously we are thinking, how am I going to take care of my kids' studies? How am I going to buy a house? Or maybe how am I going to work on my career, right? Or get another better job, or buy a vehicle. The you really need it, but at this point in time, you don't know how. So subconscious stress is there. Okay, it's a very big even awareness for me as well. When I started learning, it causes inflammation in the body, burnout, and emotional exhaustion. Okay, many of the geriatric diseases that we have, lifestyle diseases that we have, is also because of increase in this the stress hormones. Okay, example, cortisol levels are high when we don't sleep at night on time. Cortisol levels are high, and even though you might be eating a bit lesser, but then your stress hormones are so high. Okay, and then your hunger, the hormones will kick in, and then you will tend to eat something. Okay, so this is a cycle. Okay, and parasympathetic nervous system, what is PNS? It is called rest and digest. It's known for rest and digest. Parasympathetic nervous system, just opposite of sympathetic nervous system. Okay, and what does PNS do? It slows down the heart rate. It relaxes the muscles, lowers the blood pressure, and helps digestion and healing. Okay, so when parasympathetic nervous system or PNS is activated, it helps us in helps the body in repair of the cells, overall repair of the body, the organs in the body. Okay. Also, repair mode meaning what? Glucose levels start balance. One of the I was talking to a pastor and I advised him. I know for sure that I've seen him somewhere like 2, 3 o'clock, very active in social media and all that. And then he's got now diabetes. Okay, but staying up late when all this messing up the system, the sleep cycle also is one of the major reasons for sugar levels to go up. Okay, there is an imbalance that kicks in uh, when the body is not able to enter the repair mode. Okay, and cells rejuvenate when parasympathetic nervous system is kicked. Okay, and when you are not stressful, when you are calm and quiet, in a Zen state, like the people, Buddhists and others who are very well known for meditation, you look at their face, for me at least, when I look at somebody's face, I know like, okay, if the person is very stressful or they've got it all together. Okay, they may not have the solution, but they are not triggered. They are not stressful about everything in life. Once you see a person, then you can. I mean, I can feel who's under pressure, who's stressful, who's like fearful, always shrinking. They're not confident that they could handle life situations. Okay, so the our as Psalms 139:14 verse 14 says, you're fearfully and wonderfully made. Our body is wonderfully made by our creator. So there is a sympathetic nervous system which is designed for survival, and there is parasympathetic nervous system which is designed for calming and relaxing and activating the creative mode in us. Okay, so when we do meditation, when we do enter into the void, okay, the meditation, okay, it helps us observe our thoughts without reacting. When the thoughts are not checked, when the thoughts are not observed or not checked in, that's when the subconscious triggers, okay, subconscious hurt, past experiences, past memory, when it is not released, the energy is not released, that's when the trigger happens. Okay, but what we are doing now is we are observing our thoughts without engaging, without reacting on that. Okay, so what we are doing now is shifting from reaction to observing, or deactivating the sympathetic nervous system. If you're always under stress, always worried, always fearful, thinking about the past and worrying about the future, you're constantly in a state of stress. You may not say, I'm relaxed, I'm having a coffee, I'm having chit chat, but subconsciously you really don't know. You are so worried, you're so fearful, and your sympathetic nervous system is always active. That's not good. Okay. Um, so meditation helps us release something called GABA. It's called gamma aminobutyric acid. Okay, and it is a neurotransmitter, a chemical messenger in the brain that's responsible for calming our nervous system. Okay, and it also calms the amygdala. Amygdala it's called the fear center. Okay, so when we do meditation, a neurotransmitter called GABA liquid it's acid, not liquid. Acid is released, and it's the chemical messenger in the brain that really helps us calm down the nervous system. Okay, due to this, the cortisol levels drop. Okay, so typically, if we are able to, also another thing is that the prefrontal cortex is it's always analyzing. Okay, it's the center for reasoning, analyzing, and it calms that, it helps the prefrontal cortex to respond rather than reacting. Okay, so we need to calm down, so we know, okay, there is chaos we are placed in the midst of chaos in this world. There's so many things happening around us, and even we are in so many different situations, right? So we know Once we are aware of it, you know that, okay, I got it, I'm aware of it. You don't automatically react it by default without you knowing yourself. Many times you would have reacted, we would have escalated. We're very quick to respond. I remember when we started this leadership thing, there was so much of pressure on me because I was doing in the forefront. I had to fit into the framework, expectations of people, in so many different people. There was so much of entitlement. I have to react. I have to respond to the messages immediately. I have to go and serve people immediately. I have to please people. I have to make sure that everybody comes together. Their services are promoted, and they want to go here, there, and everything without. It's all about consumeric mindset. Without asking, how are you doing? Is there any way I can help you? Is there any way I can serve you alongside? Where do you need help? It was not the thing. It's all about themselves, right? So when I try to calm down everything, I'll discuss with Sam. So there was like, if you are put under such pressure, your cortisol levels really go up high. Sometimes you don't know why you're putting on weight. Okay. And then there will be some even commentaries will come, it's like overweight and this and that. Maybe you should do this. Maybe you should do that. I know about my health. I know what I should do. I know what are the challenges I face. But it's like people are always giving opinions, right? So you should know who you are. You should know what you are doing. You should be able to position yourself in a place where I got it together. Yes, I appreciate. Okay. So 10 to 15 minutes of this deep stillness, or when we do it for 90 days, that's why I'm encouraging everybody to join in. It's just a half an hour effort. You all come together. We are going to do 15 minutes of meditation. If done 90 days, our nervous system is going to learn to stay regulated. The triggers that like certain biases that we have for our spouses, our kids, our in-laws, our employers, our bosses, the subtle biases that are set in, that is the stronghold. It's going to break. Okay. And our nervous system will be regulated in such a way that we are not going to be triggered. We are not going to be very stressful. We are not going to be reacting all the time. So that's the reason we started this exercise. Okay. I hope you guys understood. Can you give me a thumbs up? Awesome. Okay, let me put the timer. So today we will continue with the two. If you joined yesterday, I asked you guys to write down two limiting beliefs that you all have, and then visualize when you overcome those limiting beliefs, how it would look. I wanted you guys to sort of write down. Okay. So today also, first 1 minute, we will take a reverse breath, and then 15 minutes we'll do void meditation. Then your nervous system is regulated, you're calm and control, and that's the best time for you to go and visualize your outcome. Okay. You might want to continue the same to what you have written, or you might have you could have something additionally, maybe something more you could do it today. Okay. Is that fine? Can you give me a thumbs up? Did you guys get it? Okay. Super. Okay, so I'm starting now. Okay, if you are able to enter into void straight away,